everybody. So I wanted to come back with a video tonight. I don't know, maybe I should go into the bathroom because my spouse is sleeping and I don't want to be loud so he wakes up, but I mean, if he wakes up, it's fine, but I just wanted to get into a video tonight. I don't know, just talking about like how, like when I have these visions in my head about the narrations and all that crap. I don't know, maybe I can try and speak more freely if I'm in the bathroom. Because this apartment is really small. Like my apartment is really, really small. I don't know if you guys can hear the vent going, but I can hear it. I don't know, this is somewhat gonna be like a lengthy stream, I guess. I don't know. I can't sleep, so, you know, I'm up drinking and I just have like all these like ideas in my head. But like sometimes when I do these role plays, when I do these narrations in my head, like I always think of the bad guy as like the man. Like I always think of like the bad guy who's coming to harm me or coming to harm like the people who I love. Like I always see that person as a man when it really should be the woman, right? Because the woman tends to manipulate the man, because that's, you know, that's all the power she has in real life and in fiction too as well. So you guys, this might be like somewhat of a lengthy stream. It's midnight and I just feel like I have like a lot of these topics that I need to like get off my chest and just try and like try and relay in a recording. So like, yeah, like sometimes when I'm like drunk and high, or high and drunk, whichever one, like I tend to narrate myself into these stories, and like I always see the man, or I always see the guy, you know, who is the perpetrator or whatever, like in my narration into my own like self storyline. You know, like being the bad guy, right? when really it should be the woman who is the most evil one. You know, because it's portraying like what's really going on in this world now, you know, like the woman is really just, you know, manipulating the man just to get what she wants, and then the man, like, you know, does whatever she wants, you know, because the man just wants like sex from her, you know. That's really all it is, because most men now in these recent times, like, they're just getting so desperate, like, they're so lonely, like, they crave female attention, you know, they crave that the female's love and attention, when really that's not really her goal, right? You know, she doesn't want to give that man her attention or her love, because, like, you know, she really doesn't like that man, you know. In the long run, she doesn't really like that guy, you know. But, you know, she would give herself up to, like, you know, the most devilish man, the most the man who is, like, you know, who can portray himself as, like, you know, the villain, because that's what most females are attracted to. Like, they're attracted to, like, the Pookies and Ray Rays. Most women are, you know. Yeah. And, you know, there were other things that I wanted to say in this recording, but I seem to have lost those ideas because I'm freaking drinking like this late at night. You know, I'm not perfect, but yeah. Oh yeah, about I know how, like, all of these, like, incel men and all of these black-pilled men, like, you know, they they congregate together, like, they group together, right? Because they're all going through the same thing. Well, in my case, like, I wish it was that way with, like, women sometimes, you know, because I barely have any female friends. In fact, I don't really have any female friends, even though they're in my phone, like, they're in my contact list. It's just like I rarely talk to them, you know, unless it's from, like, family. See, like, I wish I was born. Sometimes I wish I was born in, like, a big family, and, like, a big, just, like, family to where, like, you know, everybody was just, like, you know, we had each other's backs and stuff, you know. And if I had like 4 sisters, like 4 or 5 sisters, but, you know, even then, like, you know, even sisters can, like, envy each other and, like, hate each other. But I just wish it was to where, like, you know, most women could, like, form, like, a true, like, sisterhood, because in today's time, like, females rarely get along, like, rarely. In today's time, females rarely get along, nor do they want to even freaking talk to each other, you know, at all, because everything is a fucking competition in life with these females. It really is. everything is a competition with females. It really is. And I'm getting tired of that, you know. You know. And I think even in like the later generations, it's like it was still the same. Like every female was like in competition with one another, you know, just to gain status or just to gain like some kind of like male that they liked or whatever. Like, you know, it was always there was always a game being played. Like there was always like mind games being played. Everything, you know, with these females. You know, and today it's like even worse. Today's even worse. In today's time, it's like so much worse. But, you know, I only have one sister, one biological sister, you know, and she, you know, we barely even talk to each other, you know. So, but it would be cool to like form some kind of like, you know, allied bond with like a sisterhood, like a legit sisterhood, you know, whether it be like online or like wherever, because like these, you know, the men are doing it though, like these men are forming alliances and stuff online. And I'm just like, well, why can't I freaking try and do this with the females, you know? And it's just like, well, it's not impossible, but I freaking can't because everything is a freaking competition with these females. Everything is, you know? And that's why I relate to males so much is because, you know, they're more willing to listen. They're more willing to, like, you know, open their heart up, you know, to somewhat like outcast female, to an outcast female like me, who just, you know, who can barely get any female friends at all, you know. You know, I only have, like, my family and my spouse, and, like, you know, from time to time, like, my spouse's mother, but, you know, it's few and far between, you know, like, it's just not many of us, or, you know, it's just not, you know, there's just not many people like that in general to just, you know, to just place your trust in. You know, it's nearly impossible, you know, to formulate some kind of alliance with these females, because I know that, you know, these males online, like, they're doing it, you know. You know, these males online on YouTube and stuff, the black pill incel males, like they're formulating alliances, you know, even passport bros, like they're forming alliances with each other, you know, and it's just like, well, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, why can't females do that? Like, you know, why can't us females try and do that with each other? It's because we can't. It's because it's always a competition for something or anything. So petty. It's always so petty. You know, what we're arguing about, what we're in competition about, is like, I'm getting fucking sick of it. You know? I'm getting fucking sick of it. And that's why I relate. That's why I can relate to, you know, these men, more for these men online, because, you know, their hearts tend to be more true. Like, they're more genuine. you know, and they just, you know, they just say what's on their heart, you know, but these freaking females online or these females out here in the world, like, they can't freaking do that because it's always a freaking competition for something, you know. I'm getting sick and tired, you know, because, you know, like in the medieval days, like, I bet women took care of each other, you know, and they talked to each other about what was happening, but nowadays, it can't fucking be like that because everything's a fucking competition for something, for anything. You know, women are always backstabbing each other because for some fucking petty bullshit. You know, it's always fucking like that. And it always will be like that until the world ends. But, I'm glad to say, like, there are some females online who will, who will reply to my comments, when I comment on their specific channels that they have. Like, there are some females who will take the time to, heart my comment, like on their specific channels and whatnot. A few to say the least, like Loon. I'm watching more of Loon's videos now. There's Makota. Like, it might take her a little while to respond, but, I appreciate Makota because she always responds back to my comment, like when I comment on one of her videos. So, like, I really appreciate her for doing that. So yeah, I mean, not all hope is lost, with us females, with us real females who just, who are feeling the struggle too, because it's not just men who struggle, us females, we can struggle too, we can most definitely struggle too. Because, it takes the most realist of females to struggle because, we don't want to be a part of society's norms, like we don't want to be a part of, like the fakeness of, like the world and like what most of these females are really doing. Like, we don't want to be a part of that. So, it's like we just have to find, like, different avenues to, like, really communicate with each other. Like on a real genuine level. But, it's really hard to find, like, in the world, and it's really hard to find online. Like, most definitely. So, yeah, like, whenever I do these, like, spiritual storylines with myself, like, within my head, it's a survival cope. I've been talking to myself lately about these survival copes. These survival copes are very brutal, and I have to deal with it on a day-to-day basis because, I don't know, just society in general, and trying to find these jobs. It's just fucking kicking my ass, man. It's really just kicking my ass, and I have to find some outlet to cope, to really cope with this life. Since all my friends are gone, I just have my family and my spouse now, but yeah, it's just getting hard. It's just getting really hard. It's getting harder.